Local now meteorologist Walker Snowden continuing to track Hurricane Idalia. Still a Category 1 storm with maximum wind speeds of 90 miles an hour. It's expected to continue its trek northward through the Gulf of Mexico before eventually making landfall sometime Wednesday morning as a major Category hurricane, potentially seeing winds as high as 125 miles an hour towards the Big Bend region, again, the Appalachian Bay region of Florida. But notice the outer extents of the cone. Again, this system could travel a little bit further south, possibly closer to Cedar Key, or a little bit further northwest, as models have been indicating over the last several hours, maybe a little bit closer to Jefferson County and portions of Wakulla County as well. The system expected to remain as a tropical storm even further inland, potentially bringing tropical storm impacts to coastal regions of Georgia, along with heavy rainfall into the Carolinas from Wednesday into Thursday. Here's a current look at the watches and warnings in effect. Again, hurricane warnings spanning all the way from south of Tampa for Manatee County through the Gulf Coast, all the way up closer to Tallahassee, including Leon, Wakulla, portions of Franklin County, over towards Jefferson County as well. Again, potentially seeing hurricane-force wind speeds, winds in excess of 73 miles an hour. And as mentioned, remaining tropical storm strength. Thus, tropical storm warnings remain in effect for portions of Georgia and into South Carolina. Let's go ahead and break down some of the wind gust forecast. Again, as mentioned, this is a little bit of a shift in overall track as you work over the next several hours into Wednesday morning. This computer model does have it fairly close to Cedar Key, especially, remember, the stronger wind is going to be closer to the center of circulation. As you work from Wednesday into Thursday, notice again some of the stronger gusts traveling with that system towards coastal regions of Georgia into South Carolina, likely seeing tropical storm force wind gusts in some of those locations. But another very hazardous and potentially fatal part of the forecast is going to be the storm surge potential for Appalachia Bay, now up to 10 to 15 feet. Again, that is insurvivable storm surge. A lot of these locations aren't under mandatory evacuations. And so if you haven't done so already, you need to leave because, again, it's not just the heavy rains and winds, but also the storm surge impacts. And on that heavy rain note, again, flood watches span all the way from the Gulf Coast of Florida through portions of Georgia and South Carolina as well. Very heavy rainfall is expected to be a part of the forecast. Let's go and break down future radar. Again, notice that center of circulation very tight and overall, indicating a fairly strong storm as it does make landfall sometime early tomorrow morning. And again, the heaviest rainfall setting up on the north side of that circulation as it works up the coastline through Georgia and into the Carolinas. Here's a look at some of the potential rainfall that we could see with that system. And on the front side of that circulation, potential for 5 to 8 widespread rain totals will be possible. Maybe some instances fairly isolated a little bit higher than that, 3 to 5 as you get a little bit closer to the Carolinas. We'll continue to provide updates as the storm continues.